A hidden staircase spirals beneath a skylight in London. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, a miniature train winds through a sun-drenched backyard in Beverly Hills. But what do these two stunning homes have in common? They both belong to one woman, whose voice made the world weep, cheer, and believe again. From the cobblestone streets of Tottenham to global stardom, Adele built not only an empire, but also two dream sanctuaries. Today, we step inside them, and far beyond. How does a girl from Tottenham, raised by a single mother in a tiny flat above a discount store, go on to become the voice of a generation? How does heartbreak, loss, and vulnerability turn into Grammy Awards, Oscar statues, and hundreds of millions of dollars? The answer begins with a voice. A voice that didn't need auto-tune. A voice that didn't need choreography, smoke machines, or viral TikToks. Just a microphone. And silence. Born in 1988, Adele Laurie Blue Adkins didn't have a stage growing up. She had a mother, Penny, who worked tirelessly to raise her alone after Adele's father left when she was just 2. They moved constantly, Tottenham to Brighton, then back to South London, into Brixton and West Norwood. No glamour, just grit. Adele spent countless afternoons at Brockwell Park, playing guitar, scribbling lyrics, and belting out notes for whoever would listen. Years later, she'd revisit that same park during a drive, pull over, and cry. That wasn't nostalgia. That was a soul remembering its roots. But did anyone expect that girl in the park would one day change the sound of modern music? She enrolled at the Brit School for Performing Arts, not to become a singer, but to learn the behind-the-scenes of the industry. She dreamed of scouting talent, not being it. And then it happened. A friend uploaded her demo to MySpace. Just one song. That was enough. Within months, record executives came knocking. XL Recordings signed her. She was just 18. In 2008, her debut album 19 landed softly, but made a deep impact. Songs like Chasing Pavements and Hometown Glory weren't just hits. They were lifelines for those who'd ever loved and lost. But it was 21, released in 2011, that changed everything. Have you ever heard Heartbreak sold in vinyl form? That's what 21 was. It topped charts in over 30 countries. It became the soundtrack of breakups, resilience, and rediscovery. Rolling in the Deep, Set Fire to the Rain, Someone Like You. These weren't just songs. They were global anthems. She won 6 Grammys in one night. She didn't just win, she swept. And yet, just when the world expected her to keep going, Adele stopped. Her voice was failing. Hemorrhaged vocal cords, emergency surgery, complete silence. For someone whose life had been built around singing, it was like losing the air she breathed. But from that silence came rebirth. In 2015, she returned with 25. It wasn't just successful, it shattered records. Hello became the fastest video to reach 1 billion views on YouTube at the time. By then, Adele had become something rare. An artist loved by both critics and crowds. A multi-generational voice who didn't chase trends, she set them. And in 2021, 30 arrived, not as a commercial move, but as a personal manifesto. It was raw, soul-bearing, and unfiltered. She opened up about motherhood, divorce, loneliness, and once again, the world listened. What's astonishing is not just the 170 million records sold, it's that she did it without becoming someone else. No overexposure, no reality shows, no public meltdowns. She lived, she wrote, she sang, and in doing so, she built an empire. Not just of music, but of belonging, of honesty, of home. Today her fortune stands at over $220 million, but her real wealth is emotional. She gave the world songs that helped people heal, cry, move on, and fall in love again. And in return, the world gave her something rare, unconditional trust. That's how a girl with no silver spoon ended up with a home in Kensington worth $14 million and a dream estate in Beverly Hills that cost more than $41 million. Because behind every brick and every square foot is a voice, a story, a journey from Tottenham to the top. Now that we've seen how Adele climbed from London parks to world stages, let's step into the sanctuary she created back in her homeland, where sunlight streams through triple-glazed windows and every wall whispers peace. It's time to open the door to her hidden London mansion. Townhouse in London. What does peace look like when you've sung your soul out to the world? For Adele, it looks like a stately townhouse tucked into one of London's most elegant corners, Kensington. Not flashy, not screaming for attention, but exactly the kind of place where a woman who's lived many emotional lives might retreat to rediscover stillness. Purchased in 2021, at the peak of her 30 success, the property is estimated to be worth $14 million. And the moment you step through its antique front door, you know it was chosen by someone who values silence and sunlight. Because this house, it doesn't just shelter, it listens. A sweeping hallway, wrapped in cream-colored walls and subtle molding, sets the tone. Minimalist, elegant, unbothered by excess. To your right, a sun-soaked drawing room, where Adele may entertain close friends or simply sink into a plush sofa with a glass of wine and a record humming softly in the background. The flooring? Meticulously restored hardwood, warm and honey-toned, creaks only when it wants to remind you that this house has history. And above your head, light. Because what Adele seems to love most is space and sunlight. Massive triple-glazed windows stretch from floor to ceiling, keeping London's winter chill outside, while letting in every golden ray the sky will spare. These windows don't just look out at trees, they frame them, like living paintings. It's as if Adele brought the stage lighting home, only now it shines inward. Now walk into the kitchen. This is not some cold, sterile celebrity showroom. It's alive. Custom cabinetry, hand-finished in soft dove gray. Marble countertops, not just for elegance, but for the joy of kneading dough, slicing vegetables, and feeling grounded in the rhythm of ordinary life. The kitchen flows seamlessly into an open-concept dining room where polished wood meets candlelight. You can almost hear laughter, the clinking of dishes, the soft melody of conversation. Can you see it? Adele barefoot, serving her son Angelo a warm breakfast before the school run, or gathered here with friends, musicians, writers, people she trusts, sharing food, memories, and maybe a song or two. And then, the masterpiece, her primary suite. It spans nearly the entire top floor. At the center, a bed flanked by sheer drapes that flutter when the terrace door is cracked open. To the left, a wrought iron staircase curling upward into a spa-style bathroom where porcelain, brass, and natural light collide. This is where Adele unwinds, where she reflects, where perhaps she wrote those most intimate verses that shaped 30. And the private terrace? It's like London's secret gift to her, a patch of peace suspended above the world, lined with hedges and shaded by mature trees. In spring, it blooms. In winter, it whispers. But the most remarkable feature of all, beneath the entire home lies a ball-bearing isolation system, an architectural rarity designed to absorb vibrations from passing traffic and carriages. Yes, carriages. Because this part of London still clings to tradition, its engineering, its silence, its metaphor. This house doesn't just protect her from noise, it protects her from the world. And maybe that's what Adele needed after years of loud fame. A space where nothing shakes her, where even the ground beneath her is steady. But while London gave Adele peace, America gave her space. Now let's fly across the Atlantic, to the place where laughter echoes off the poolside gazebo, where a child's giggle follows a miniature train track around the garden. Welcome to Beverly Hills. Mansion in Beverly Hills. What does $41.5 million buy you in Beverly Hills? More than just land, more than bricks and furniture. It buys space to breathe, space to feel. And for Adele, it bought something she couldn't quite find in London, a home that holds everything. Welcome to Hidden Valley, a private enclave within Beverly Hills where the stars don't just live, they exhale. This is where Adele found her American sanctuary. And true to its name, it's hidden. Surrounded by tall hedges and tucked behind a discreet gate, Adele's estate doesn't shout for attention. But once you're inside, it sings. You enter through a 2-story grand foyer. The staircase, not straight but sweeping, a gentle curve leading your eye upward to the second-floor library, where warm wood tones, built-in shelves, and cozy armchairs invite quiet afternoons. It's hard not to imagine Adele barefoot here, flipping through old poetry books, a mug of tea in hand, the California light kissing her shoulder. But the real heart of this home is in its many living spaces. Each living room is framed by massive windows, flooding the space with sunshine. Each has its own fireplace, but none feel repetitive. Some rooms are formal, made for grown-up conversations and hushed piano notes. Others, casual, filled with plush cushions, laughter, and the kind of mess only children can create. And yes, there is a grand piano, because of course there is. And no, it's not for show. It's there for when inspiration strikes on a rainy Sunday, or when Adele wants to play for herself, not for a stadium. Let's talk kitchen. A California dream. Open concept, chef-grade appliances, stone countertops, and a kitchen island big enough to seat a dinner party. It flows into the family room, where sliding glass doors open wide to the backyard. And this is where the estate truly comes alive. Because outside, it's not just a backyard, it's a universe. There's a built-in BBQ, perfect for weekend cookouts. A gazebo with flowing white curtains, ideal for starlit dinners or spontaneous songwriting sessions. A custom pool, carved to blend into the landscaping, glimmering under the Southern California sun. And then, something magical. A miniature train track, wrapping around a treehouse and playground, built not for show, but for joy. It's a child's dreamscape, and it's real. Adele created this place for Angelo, her son, but maybe also for the little girl she used to be, the one who sang in Brockwell Park and dreamed of a future where joy wasn't rare. Then there's the primary suite. It's not just a bedroom, it's a retreat. Vaulted ceilings, soft textures, a master bathroom that rivals any luxury spa, complete with freestanding tub and dual vanities. The color palette? Soft neutrals, creams, sand, grays, nothing loud, nothing jarring. It feels like a whisper. It feels like Adele. Throughout the home, the design blends modern elegance with timeless warmth. It's minimal, but not cold. Curated, but not untouchable. You don't feel like you're in a celebrity's house. You feel like you're in someone's life. A life that's been lived, loved, and rebuilt again and again. And here's the best part. Adele didn't just buy one property in Hidden Valley. She bought 3, all adjacent, forming her own private compound, a musical fortress, a mother's haven, a woman's world. From the quiet streets of Kensington to the golden hills of Los Angeles, Adele's homes reflect her duality, rooted yet expansive, grand yet grounded. But her lifestyle isn't just about where she lives. It's also about what she drives. Let's open the garage door and take a ride through Adele's personal fleet of luxury cars. What kind of cars do you buy? When you've sold over 170 million records, screaming sports cars, diamond-studded SUVs, Not if you're Adele. Her garage doesn't scream wealth, it hums it. Each vehicle in her fleet isn't just about power or prestige. It's about comfort, elegance, and a touch of rebellion. Let's step inside. Cars. Porsche Macan S, smooth, compact, confident. This is not your typical flashy celebrity Porsche. This is the Macan S, sleek yet muscular, subtle yet serious. With a 3.0-liter V6 engine, 348 horsepower, and a 0 to 60 mph time of just 5.1 seconds, it offers sports car thrill with SUV practicality. Why does Adele love it? Because it fits her London life. Tight corners, city traffic, privacy behind tinted glass. She's been spotted cruising the streets of Kensington in it. Low-key, hoodie up, music down, alone with her thoughts. It's the kind of car you drive when you want to move fast but stay grounded. Like her voice, controlled, but with power underneath. Range Rover Vogue, the queen of comfort. Adele has always said she's a homebody at heart, and few cars reflect that better than the Range Rover Vogue. It's her comfort blanket on wheels. With adaptive air suspension, hand-stitched leather seats, and the ability to tackle off-road terrain without spilling your tea, this SUV is a symbol of British luxury that doesn't need validation. Why this one? Because it's perfect for countryside escapes. And because sometimes, after a long studio session or a sleepless night with her son, Adele just wants to drive into the hills, windows cracked, music playing. Maybe not her music. Maybe Etta James or Carole King. The women who made her feel seen, before the world even knew her name. Mercedes Maybach S-Class. Now we're talking. This is Adele's crown jewel on 4 wheels. The Mercedes Maybach S-Class is not just a car, it's a mobile sanctuary. With reclining rear seats, massaging functions, built-in perfume diffusion, and near-silent ride quality, it's luxury at its absolute peak. And Adele? She doesn't just ride in it, she arrives in it. When she pulls up to award shows, gala nights, or studio sessions where she knows the world will be watching, this is the car that wraps her in grace and power. It's the automotive equivalent of a long velvet gown and a string section. Effortless, timeless, regal. What's striking about Adele's car collection is what's not in it. No Ferraris, no Lamborghinis, no paparazzi bait. Because she doesn't chase attention. She chooses comfort, safety, story. Each vehicle in her fleet is like a verse in one of her songs, measured, meaningful, and deeply personal. They aren't just machines, they're memories. Of solo rides after breakups, of nursery runs with Angelo, of nighttime drives through LA, windows down, when her soul needed fresh air more than applause. But luxury doesn't come without labor. So how exactly did Adele turn heartbreak into a fortune? And how much is her empire truly worth? Let's pull back the curtain and follow the money. $220 million. That's Adele's current estimated net worth. But where did it come from? Not from makeup lines, not from fast fashion deals, and definitely not from reality TV appearances. No, Adele earned her fortune the old-fashioned way. With songs, with tickets, with tears. Her journey began modestly. In 2008, after releasing her debut album 19, Adele brought in an estimated $10 million, modest by industry standards, but life-changing for a girl raised by a single mother in South London. The next 2 years, a steady climb. But then came 2011, the year everything exploded. 21 was not just a chart topper. It was a cultural reset. That year alone, Adele earned $15 million. The following year, $18 million. Then $30 million, $70 million, $60 million, and a record-breaking $80 million in 2016. What was she selling? Emotion. People didn't just stream her music, they clung to it. Her albums sold physical copies in an age of digital streams. Her concerts sold out in seconds. Over 10 million people fought for just 750,000 North American tour tickets in 2016. Adele became a rare commodity in the music industry, an artist who didn't need to release singles every few months, who could disappear for years and return stronger. But music wasn't her only income stream. Let's talk about Skyfall. The James Bond anthem not only won her an Oscar and a Golden Globe, it brought in millions in royalties. The song has sold over 5 million copies worldwide, with streaming rights, sync licenses, and global use continuing to pay dividends. And then there's touring. Her live performances are experiences, not just concerts. For every arena show she played, Adele reportedly earned over $1 million. And with Weekends with Adele in Las Vegas, she elevated that even further, bringing in up to $2 million per night, with limited, emotionally rich shows that had people flying across the world just to feel her presence. She doesn't rely on brand sponsorships, she doesn't chase TV or influencer fame, and that's what makes her wealth even more powerful. It's pure, authentic, rooted in talent and timing, not trends. So what does Adele do with her money? She buys freedom. She builds homes that absorb vibrations. She surrounds herself with real people, real privacy, real peace. She doesn't flaunt her wealth. She lives it, softly, strongly, quietly. But while millions flow into her accounts, Adele never let go of where she came from. Because for her, success isn't just about accumulation. It's about giving back. Let's open the next chapter and explore the heart behind the music. Philanthropy. Adele doesn't post about her charity work. She doesn't live stream her donations. She doesn't stage photo ops with oversized checks. So how do we know she gives? Because people who were helped by her remember, and they talk. It all began quietly, back in 2007, when the world was still just beginning to discover her voice. She performed at Little Noise sessions in London, donating her earnings to MenCap, a charity supporting people with learning disabilities. Then came Keep a Child Alive, the VH1 Divas concert, and John Mayer's holiday review. Each time, Adele stepped onto stages not for fame, but for purpose. In 2011, she gave a free concert at Pride London, dedicating her voice to the LGBTQ+ community she often calls her soul family. She wept as she sang Someone Like You for comic relief, knowing her heartbreak was now healing others. Because when Adele gives, it's never performative. It's personal. And she didn't stop there. She became a quiet but steady supporter of MusiCares, donating signed items, attending benefits, and backing musicians who'd fallen on hard times. Even during her 21 world tour, she set up a donation system for SANS, a charity that helps grieving parents who've lost their newborns. She didn't just ask for money. She requested that every person receiving a free backstage pass donate at least $20. It was optional, but it raised over $13,000. Then came a moment that defined her heart. June 14th, 2017. The Grenfell Tower fire, a tragedy that shook London. No cameras, no press team. Adele showed up at the site the very next day. She wept. She hugged survivors. She brought food to firefighters. And she stood silently during moments of remembrance. Later that month, during her Wembley performance, she asked her audience not to buy expensive drinks, but to donate to the families affected. In a world where charity often feels like a hashtag, Adele's actions whispered louder than any headline. She also supported the Hub Community Kitchen, founded by women impacted by the Grenfell tragedy. There, she didn't just fund meals. She cooked. She served. She listened. And while some celebrities turn away from political causes, Adele leaned in with love. She supported Amnesty International. She amplified Drop for Drop, the clean water initiative started by her former partner. She backed LGBTQ+ rights, children's education, and maternal mental health, not for optics, but because she feels deeply. Most recently, in July 2025, she partnered with the Light for Tomorrow Foundation in a breathtaking act of kindness. She funded 800 personalized gift kits for low-income children in Willow Creek. Each box wasn't generic. It included warm clothes, books tailored to reading level, musical toys, art supplies, hygiene products, and a handwritten letter from Adele. Then, in a private performance at a small community center, she sang "Make You Feel My Love" in a circle of 12 kids. No crowd, no phones, just a piano, and a promise: you matter. This is Adele, a woman who's been through heartbreak and uses her healing to help others rise. A global icon, yes, but also a quiet force of love. Now that we've seen the compassion behind the curtain, what about the life Adele lives today? What does joy look like for her? Off stage, off camera. Let's step into her private world and meet the woman behind the voice. So who is Adele today? When the stadium lights fade and the last echo of applause disappears. She's not the broken-hearted 20-something curled up writing "Someone Like You." She's not the young star nervously holding 6 Grammys in one night. She's something more powerful, more rare. She's comfortable. Personal life. After years of being the world's emotional compass, Adele has learned to center her own. Her days no longer revolve around press tours or red carpets. Instead, they revolve around someone far more important: her son, Angelo. Born in 2012, Angelo changed everything. Adele has often said that becoming a mother gave her life purpose, that before him she was floating. Now, she's anchored. She makes school runs in a hoodie and sunglasses. She packs lunch boxes. She attends parent-teacher meetings like any other mom, and she guards his privacy like a fortress. Because for Adele, fame is a tool, never a goal. But life hasn't always been this peaceful. After years of partnership with Simon Konecki, the two quietly married in 2018, and just as quietly, separated later that same year. By 2021, the divorce was finalized. But heartbreak didn't break her. It refined her. She became more grounded, more present, and more open about her inner battles, speaking candidly about postpartum depression, anxiety, and the panic attacks that sometimes paralyzed her. She didn't hide it. She named it, and in doing so, helped millions feel less alone. And then, Rich Paul. In 2021, Adele began dating the American sports agent. It was unexpected, and somehow perfect. He wasn't from the music industry. He wasn't chasing headlines. He was just a man who made her laugh, who gave her peace. By 2024, at a concert in Munich, Adele casually confirmed what fans had long suspected. They were engaged. Not with a grand announcement, just a glowing smile and a sparkling ring. Today, Adele splits her time between her London townhouse and her sprawling Beverly Hills estate. Mornings are slow. She wakes up to sun pouring through oversized windows, drinks tea with oat milk, and journals in silence. She practices Pilates. She reads, everything from poetry to psychology. She's fascinated with understanding herself. And on Sundays, she cooks, not for Instagram, just for her. Roasts, pastas, herby chicken, the kind of meals that make a house feel like a home. And then there are the nights, when her son is asleep, when Rich is working late. She'll sit at the piano in her Hidden Valley home, press a single note, and just listen. No deadlines, no producers, no need to impress. Just a woman, a melody, and the echo of her own healing. She no longer drinks, publicly sharing her journey with alcohol and celebrating sobriety milestones that reflect her deep inner work. And while she still performs, like in her Las Vegas residency, she chooses carefully. She doesn't overextend. She doesn't overexpose, because she knows. Her power doesn't come from being everywhere. It comes from being present, exactly where she wants to be. This is Adele today, still wildly talented, still brilliantly sharp, but softer, wiser, and most importantly, happy. We've walked through the homes. We've heard the story behind the songs. We've driven through her world, peeked into her heart, and touched the quiet strength she's built. Now, one question remains. Which version of Adele speaks to you most? Let's bring it all home. From a girl with a guitar in Brockwell Park, to a woman with two sanctuaries, one in London's historic Kensington, the other among the golden hills of Beverly Hills. Adele's life is a masterpiece in progress. But what makes it extraordinary isn't just the homes, the cars, or the millions. It's how she chose to build inward, not just upward. She didn't lose herself in the spotlight. She used it to illuminate others. She gave us songs we cried to. She gave us space to feel. And in return, we gave her the rarest gift in fame: trust. So now that you've walked through her London townhouse, stood at the edge of her poolside gazebo in Beverly Hills, sat beside her at the piano, and tasted her roast chicken on a quiet Sunday night, which Adele do you see? The powerhouse on stage? The barefoot mother in her kitchen? Or the woman sitting quietly in a velvet armchair, sipping tea, finally at peace? We want to hear from you. Which of Adele's homes speaks to your soul more? The timeless charm of Kensington or the sunny magic of Hidden Valley? Let us know in the comments. And if this journey moved you, even just a little, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us for more stories like this. Because every voice has a home, and every home has a story.